Hey guys, it looks like I'm live. Maybe you all are finding me. I have not used StreamYard before, so this is new to me. We'll see how it goes. I started just a few seconds early, and yeah, so we'll see how StreamYard works. I don't know about you guys, but I have been cooking like throughout the day, and Thanksgiving is tomorrow, and I'm about done. I have only made a few things, but it has been exhausting. Thank you, Hollister. Hollister found me and gave me a heart. Thank you. And Jordan is on. So thank you guys. And I guess you can share this in big group if people are having a hard time finding us. If you can share in the Low Carb Journey to Health group, that would be awesome. It's 8:30, which I know isn't late for like normal people, but David and I are not normal. We tend to get up super early. And I was like, man, 8:30 didn't sound late when I was like coming up with this. But now that it's here, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so late. Um, Tracy says she's not cooking yet, but cleaning all day. Oh, that's worse. I don't know which cooking or cleaning. I neither. It's all exhausting. Oh, good. Kim says that she even shopped. Wow, I am impressed with you. You're doing way better than I am for sure. So, hey guys. Well, I am, locking things over already. Haven't even been into the alcohol yet. You guys were so excited about eggnog. And so I decided I'd share it with you, not just sharing it in the cooking community, but sharing it. Oh, Mary Ellen says that she's already made a loaf of cornbread. That's really good. I guess you're getting ready for stuffing. And Joyce says she's excited to try this. Okay, so let me and thank you, Ursula. That's very kind. Let me tell you. So when on the written recipe, I'm going to have like 3 notes, and it's a simple recipe, but some people are kind of funny about raw eggs. So if you don't love raw eggs, you have a couple options. One, in the United States, we can purchase pasteurized eggs. So there's like Davidson safe eggs. You can purchase that if you're a little squeamish about raw eggs. But you can also, and I'm trying to read the comments, you can also put it in a pan and cook it a bit. So, you put it into your pan, and we'll talk about how to do that. Low heat. You want to whisk your eggs and the sweetener together, and then you'll put it in a pan and make it kind of like you're going to do a custard. You want to heat it to 160 degrees, and then it's safe. We're going to take the quick method here. So I'm not going to cook this today. Karen says she didn't get a rum, so she'll do it later. And Desiree, I'm excited too about eggnog. I didn't know that this was such a popular thing. I really and truly did not realize how popular eggnog was. But I'm going to make the quick version in my blender. Okay, so this is a super quick version, but there's a little surprise at the end. I think that you guys will like, something that we really like. But anyway, so yes, you can cook it. You can put it in your skillet, heat it to 160 degrees. We're not going to do this. I'm going to put it in my mixer. And I started by separating the eggs and the yolks and the whites. So you'll see what I've got here are just 6 egg yolks. I'm going to put and I've got a cup of heavy cream. Now here's the other option. So you can like customize this any way you want to. I've got 1 cup of heavy cream that I'm going to pour into my mixer. And if you have access to the zero sugar, I'm using the Maple Hill zero sugar milk. If you have access to that, use that. If you don't, use like whatever you love as far as the like almond milk, cashew milk, coconut milk. Use what you like. You don't want to use all cream because it's too thick. It's actually too many carbs. There's 13 grams of carbs in this 1 cup of cream. Now, what I did, like I said, is I put a cup of cream in here. I put 6 egg yolks, and I'm putting a cup of our zero sugar. I have the whole milk, but I'm putting 1 cup, and then I'm going to add a 2nd cup. So this is going to have 2 cups of the zero sugar milk. And it's going to have 1 cup of heavy cream. and the 6 egg yolks. So let me do a second cup here. If you can't get your hands on this, use almond milk, coconut milk, cashew milk. Sometimes I find that, almond milk is so thin. It's one reason I don't love it, because it is so thin. You can also use a creamer. So there's like a Milkadania creamer. Sometimes the creamers are thick, and so that makes it an even nicer option with that. Okay. Trying to grab the, Ursula says she still can't get that local. If you can't get the 0 sugar milk, use the, like I said, the almond milk or the other thing. So again, we're doing this the really simple way. We're tossing everything into the blender. You can put it in your skillet, right? Now I'm going to be using, my recipe calls for 1/3 cup of sweetener, and I am using a non-erythritol based sweetener. And let me tell you why. So let me back up. It's a 1/3 cup of sweetener, which isn't very sweet at all. So it's very, very lightly sweet. But I'm using, actually using Boca Sweet. You could use Boca Sweet, allulose, xylitol. Remember that xylitol can be toxic to pets, so you have to be careful with that. But I love Boca Sweet. I've been using that a lot lately because then I don't have to worry if Winston comes creeping along or we drop something. I have to worry so much about Winston. But you can use erythritol, but when it cools, it can get gritty. And so I've been just avoiding that in anything that I'm eating or serving cold. So that's just a 1/3 cup of sweetener. Not very sweet at all. Now I'm going to, again, because we're doing it in this, I'm tossing everything in. And the instructions, the recipe has both. The written recipe, which will be on my website, has the instructions for if you want to cook it as well. I'm going to put a full teaspoon of vanilla because you all know that I love vanilla. It's my favorite flavor. Vanilla. Can't put too much, right? Actually, you can. I found out the hard way. You can put too much. And then I'm just going to put a little nutmeg and a little cinnamon. For the nutmeg, I'm going to put a 1/2 teaspoon. You can adjust this. You can use fresh nutmeg. We could not find fresh nutmeg here, but I'm using a 1/2 teaspoon. Smells so good. Love the flavor that the nutmeg is. If you have fresh, good for you. Like I said, we just could not find it. Oops, it's the wrong one, isn't it? Okay. And then the cinnamon, and you could, again, adjust the spices to your liking. I'm using just 1/8 teaspoon of cinnamon in this. And I've got to get some more cinnamon. I'm running out of cinnamon with all the different things I've been making this season. So that's it. Not putting the alcohol in. I am going to put a little pinch of salt because salt intensifies the flavor of everything. Okay, so let me put this on here. I'm going to use the feature on my Vitamix or Vitamix, however you say this thing. I'm going to use the feature that is warming. And so I'm going to put it on the warming one because, again, the idea of warming to kill bacteria and let it go. Sorry, let it go. And I'm going to step over here and check. That's really quickly. She found it, and the name of the milk powder is milk I'm going to turn that guy down. He got loud. David said, I can't hear anything. It's Maple Hill. It comes in a whole milk and a reduced fat. So there it is. Let's see. And Whole Foods does have it, and our Harris Teeter has it. Oh, good. Tracy said she found some nutmeg. I couldn't find it. We tried a couple. Lenny says that she can't see it because the comments are in the way. Oh, that makes sense. I haven't used StreamYard before, so thank you for saying that. That scared me a little bit, but no, that makes complete and total sense. So let me go through that again. Because I'm using the blender method, I put my 6 egg yolks, I put 1 cup of heavy cream, 2 cups of my Maple Hill 0 sugar. You can use almond milk, cashew milk, whatever, coconut milk, whatever you prefer. I put in 1 teaspoon of my vanilla extract. I put in a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, which again, totally up to you. And I didn't have fresh nutmeg. And I put in 1/8 teaspoon of cinnamon and just a pinch of salt. Okay, we have 3 more things to add. Now, it's up to you. You can drink the eggnog like this, or you can add alcohol to it. What I've enjoyed doing is putting a combination of rum and bourbon, but not too much. Now, this recipe, and you'll see in a minute, we're gonna increase the volume. This recipe makes 6 servings. So I put about an ounce and a half of bourbon. And I don't know why this doesn't have the label on it. David and I really don't know why. It's Maker's Mark. But I'm using an ounce and a half of, I know some of you will have favorite bourbon. I get it. Um, yeah, some of you will have favorite bourbon. This is just, and this looks like a shot glass. Maybe it is, but we were laughing because I buy these at the dollar store, which is going up to $1.25. But I buy them at the dollar store because Jonathan likes to put his like condiments in there, like ketchup and stuff. So let me put this on low, and I'm going to put in about an ounce and a half of bourbon, and then I have an ounce and a half of Bacardi Dark. I really love the amber or the darker Bacardi. I just love the flavor. You don't want to use spiced because it often has sugars added, but I'll add my rum that I bought in 2017. Put that in. And that's it. So you can use less or more of the alcohol if you want. Now, this is our eggnog, but we're not finished. So this is an interesting thing. I actually picked this up from Alton Brown. Okay. And you know, if it came from Alton Brown, it's got to be good, right? Let me move all this out of the way. So oftentimes when you make a recipe and you're using like just a ton of egg whites or egg yolks, but not the whites, you're like, what do I do with it? So this is like all nice and frothy, right? Well, before you guys join me, because of the noise, I took the egg whites and I whipped them up to stiff peaks. So look at this. Stiff peaks. It's not coming out. Some of the egg white in the bottom of the bowl did that, but it's not coming out, right? They're stiff peaks. So what I'm going to do is take a spatula. And you can do this as you serve it, or you can do it with the whole batch. So what I would typically do is, so I put this, let me back up. If I'm going to heat this, I'm going to put it on the stove, I'm going to thicken it, and then I'm going to let it cool. So about 2 hours in the refrigerator before I start to combine them. Because I have the egg white or in this big bowl, I'm going to put just a little bit. Normally I do this the opposite way. I'd introduce some whites into my mixture and just fold it in. But what's going to happen is you have, and maybe that's what I'll do. I'll put some in here first and then pour it. And I'm just folding it in. David is laughing at me. Grace, when she tried it, she's like, Mom, this is so thick. And it's the thick and creamy. Well, one, because I did cook the other batch on the stove, the batch she tried. And then this isn't quite as thick. It's not quite as thick when you don't heat it. Okay, I've got egg whites in here, just folding them in. It's nice and thick. It smells incredible. If you want to use more sweetener, you can. You could taste it at this point, and if you think it needs more sweetener, then certainly you could use some liquid sweetener. This will keep in the fridge. So Alton Brown also talks about aging eggnog and letting it sit for a few weeks before serving. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess the alcohol keeps inhibits bacterial growth, so it's probably fine to do. But if you look at aged eggnog, that's what he does. Now, I had said earlier, and I think I made a mistake, that it was less than 1 carb per serving. That's not true. I need to go back and look at that because by itself, the the cream, the heavy cream, is going to have 13 carbs. So when you put the 6 eggs in there, you're up to 16 carbs. So yeah. And then of course I'm using the 0 sugar milk, but if you're going to get 6 glasses, I'm thinking it's going to be at least 2 carbs per glass. And that's it. And it's very thick, very creamy. And I'll show you how it is to pour. And it's so, I don't think I have it mixed really, really well, but I like to put a little of the froth on top. This. You can put a sprinkle of nutmeg. And if you had, remember, just like imagine I had fresh nutmeg, right? And I had my microblade. And just a little. Yep. And that's it. And there we go. Cheers. That's our eggnog. Now I'll take a few minutes to look through the comments, but this, you can see the volume. Like when I started to make this, it's like that's 6 cups. But if you look at this, yeah, it's definitely at least 6 servings, maybe more. So let's check out the comments. You guys are so funny. Bring on the liquor. Pam, the recipe will be on my website. It's in the cooking community. So good. It's in the cooking community, but it'll be on my website with the exact amounts. So if you didn't grab all of that. Oh, blackberry brandy. Everybody has like a favorite alcohol they use. I like the bourbon and rum combination. That is, I just like that. Yeah, brandy would have sugar, wouldn't it? The bourbon I'm using and the rum I think is pretty safe to use. Lenny asks, is it safe to drink raw eggs? That's a personal decision. Like I said earlier, 2 things. You can use Davison's safe eggs that have been pasteurized. That makes it safe. The other thing is that you can heat it on the stove. So what you would do is you whisk, and the directions are with the recipe, whisk the egg yolks and the sweetener together, warm the milks. I use the heavy cream and the 0 sugar milk, warm that in a pan. Once it starts simmering, let it simmer for a few minutes, then temper the eggs, right? You're going to put a little bit of the cream mixture into the egg and sweetener mixture, and then add it all. Heat it to a temperature of about 160, and you'll see it start to thicken. It gets like a custard. You can check the back of the spoon to see when it's ready. And then, of course, you'll refrigerate it before serving. Oh, thank you, Valerie. That's so sweet. Okay, I'm going through the comments. Okay, 2.7 grams of carbs serving with the egg white. Thank you, Kristen. So about 3 grams of carbs per serving if you get 6. And you can tell that's not going to be a tiny serving for sure. And I did treat this like a dessert. Remember that there's technically 0 carbs in the alcohol, but when it comes to metabolizing them, your body will prioritize the alcohol. So it will oxidate or use the alcohol first before it gets to the other stuff. So, in moderation, of course, right? Oh, thank you. And it says, if you ever need a grandma, I have you covered. That's so sweet. I think she needs mom, not a grandma. Oh, good. Karen says she's going to make this tomorrow. You guys are fast. I wanted to kind of introduce you guys to what we do in our live sessions. We use a different platform. But in the cooking community, we actually do this kind of thing where you guys can ask questions. You can even use your audio and ask questions. You can use your video. One time we had a cooking class and somebody showed me her cake and said, what's going on with this cake? And we were able to troubleshoot. But this is exactly the kind of thing we do in our classes. And we talk about the kind of sweetener, and we talk about the different methods. And yes, Robin, the ingredients are going to be on my website, so you can grab it there. Oh, Stacy, that's a good question. I'm not sure about that. A good fireball substitute. That's like liquor with the, do you know what that is? David's shaking his head. It was with the cinnamon candies. So certainly you could use some cinnamon extract, I think, for that. So yeah, I think that would certainly work. Deb says it's delicious. Have you made it already? Did you follow it? I posted the recipe in the cooking community this morning. And so she may have already made it. It just says it looks good. It is really tasty. Like I said, I treated it like a dessert. So when you're trying to figure your macros, do that. But I see how long it took me to make. I mean, this is like no time at all. So fast. Thank you guys. A happy Thanksgiving to you as well. People are saying they're going to make it for Christmas. Oh, that's a great idea. Heather says that she and her sister Facebook each other and they bake together. That's a really good idea. It's really fun to do that, especially if it's somebody that you don't mind seeing like your kitchen. That's a total wreck. Like mine has been throughout much of the day. Vivian's asking me to troubleshoot for cranberry sauce. Let it cool completely. It should thicken as it cools. If not, you can add more gelatin. You don't necessarily need to recook it. Just dissolve the gelatin in some cool water and then stir it in, like have it at room temperature and then stir it in and then let it cool. But it does take some time. So that may be what happened. It's hard to know when I'm not in the kitchen with you. Lynn, the recipe is already in the cooking community, homemade.health, and it will be on my website, cookingketowithkristie.com. Okay, if it's not there yet, I need a minute, but it will be there. So easy. Okay, good. So many people are saying that they're going to try it. Deb says she followed along with me and made it because I had listed the ingredients. So she said she made it with me. That's awesome. And Ursula said, would it be okay to use oat milk? Oh, yeah, I think oat milk has too many carbs. Check the ingredients. I have not used it because I'm pretty sure that oat milk is high in carbohydrates. I don't think you'd want to use that. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys too. We have one. Thank you, Mary. Mary posted the website, cookingketowithkristie.com. It's not there yet, but it will be. It's definitely in the community. Keto. Well, thank you guys. That was super fast. And I'll go through it one last time for those of you who joined late, but through no fault of your own. Basically, all I did was mix my 6 egg yolks, 1 cup of heavy cream, 2 cups of the 0 sugar milk, which if you cannot find the 0 sugar milk, which I love, if you can't find it, it's usually at Whole Foods. There is a product locator on their website. If you can't find it, use almond milk or cashew milk, coconut milk, whatever favorite nut milk, non-dairy milk that you have. Throw that in the blender with some vanilla, 1 teaspoon, 1/8 teaspoon cinnamon, a half teaspoon of nutmeg, pinch of salt, 1/3 cup of sweetener. Blizz it all up. I put 1.5 ounces of rum, 1.5 ounces of bourbon, and then I whipped the egg whites, folded that in, and it is fluffy and thick and wonderful. Okay. I hope you guys make this. Let me know. A hand mixer should work, Amy. It should be fine. So, all right, guys, take care. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving.